picture?
Huh?
Did you get a picture? Hello.
Oh, you did it wrong, honey. You gotta. It has to be like this.
Oh.
Okay, can you?
Why can't I do it like that?
Well, because we're gonna be off. Okay. We have to have both the
This is why you don't let me do this.
Apparently. So this is gonna look a lot different than that.
Why?
Because, honey, that screen, this camera is off another 5 inches to the left. Bless her heart, guys. Bless her heart. So hard to get good help these days. All right, guys.
Hello.
Get on here, say hi. We're gonna give a minute to let other people get on here. You're supposed to be up there. You're supposed to have that on too.
Listen, Linda.
I just made a short about that. Did you see it? Did you see that short?
No.
Yeah, where you pitched a fit because you almost got hit by a lure.
Oh, you're dead.
She said, "Listen, Linda." That's pretty much what it sounded like, guys. That's how I heard it anyway.
Such a jerk.
Jerk.
You're a jerk.
I think that was very jerkish.
You're a jerk.
All right.
There's a song about that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not very Christian-like.
It's probably not.
All right. We got one person on
That's
here.
me.
One person on that one, and then one person on that one. So, whomever's on the YouTube one, I don't know. They did not say hi. So, we do have two people on the other. James. How's it going, James? All right, so technically, we're just now supposed to be getting on here. So, we got on there a little bit early. We always, it's funny because we'll pull everything up, and then we have like 5 minutes before we go live, and that's the longest 5 minutes you will ever experience in your life. What's up, Bob?
Hi, Daddy.
So but so then we get to doing something else, and then inevitably we're like a minute late, or we try to like take our time getting down here because we were trying to avoid that longest minute ever, and then we end up scrambling to get on here in time. So it's just it's awesome. So we'll give it a minute still yet for people to get on here. Those who are on here, feel free to chime in, ask a question, whatever. Bob, I know you like to speak in emojis, so put some emojis there. We'll try to make a sentence out of it.
I can always make a sentence out of my dad's emojis. Are you kidding me?
Y'all, you should see the text messages he sends. It's pretty
It's
pretty funny. What's up, Mike? He'll put a string of emojis together, and somehow you can decipher a sentence out of it. So, what's up, Craig?
Hey, Craig.
But yeah, it's always funny. But so we don't have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about this week. So we'll just if you have any questions, obviously go ahead and ask those questions, and I'll be more than happy to do my best in answering them. But I don't know everything. Contrary to
you told me the other day.
Well, in regards to you, I do know everything. but no, we did. I mean, it's been a good week. The weather stinks. I hate the cold weather. I moved down south to get away from the cold weather, and we're still, we have to deal with the cold weather. At least it's only a couple weeks out of the year instead of 3 months out of the year, like it used to be.
Yeah.
So
a lot longer than that though, up there.
Yeah. But that is definitely going to get the fish. As soon as we get this warm up, they're gonna be moving shallow to feeling that itch for pre-spawn. So they're gonna really hopefully be feeding up, which is when that snatch and shad, that Jonah jerk bait. What's up, Jeff? Ronnie, you said?
Yeah, Saturday is going to be decent, but windy. Sunday he's going to be hitting the water.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get out tomorrow. I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably gonna sleep. What's up, Deb? I'm probably gonna be sleeping in a little bit tomorrow. I really I need to get some good sleep. This night shift thing, going to bed at 8 a.m. and then waking up at 2 a.m. 1 or 2 days, or yeah, 2 p.m. 1 or 2 days is fine, but you string 5 of those together and it starts to wear on you. But I will probably be going out tomorrow for a little while. Not exactly sure where I'm going to go, but I need to see here. I'm trying to read Rodney.
He's going to be helping a friend harvest his hogs tomorrow. First time, should be interesting. I'll never forget being at Shannon Brady's house when they were harvesting hogs. If you're talking about like the oinkers, the pigs.
I'm not sure what else is a hog.
Well, you guys call big fish hogs.
That's true. So, I guess if you're harvesting hogs,
I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. But
expecting a big day fishing.
It's an interesting sight.
Yeah. Good luck with that, Rod. Let me know how it goes.
He says, "Yep, pig."
Yep. Okay.
I'll never forget him hanging by the excavator, and then I had to clean out their intestines so they could make their sausage.
Yeah, I think we get so comfortable being so far removed from the processing of animals.
I mean it was eye opening. I mean, I felt bad because of course Aaron Brady was the quarterback of the football team, and then you just see him. He's up there shooting pigs in the head. It's like, and then I got to go watch it drain all its blood.
All right.
I just want to make sure
he's prepared. But YouTube's gonna flag us because we're talking about shooting pigs and draining their blood and whatnot. Well, I understand that, but the YouTube algorithm and the censor police, they can't take it. Okay? They can't take real life.
All right, Craig wants to know what's your take on water temperature. I was on the lake today, and one side of the lake was 38 degrees, and on the other end was 48.
Yeah, go to 48. That's what I would say. Go to 48. Yeah, when you get down below, when you get below 45, it gets really pretty hard.
Tony said it was 43 just below Chickamauga Dam today.
Okay. Yeah, it gets hard. You really gotta slow down. My go-to, honestly, in those cases, that's really loud and distracting me, honey. She's taking her toe across this heater we got here.
It's cold.
I get it, but my goodness. All right. I completely lost my train of thought. Okay, so 40, yeah, below the dam in particular, probably my go-to down there is just to slow roll a little swim bait. You slow roll a little swim bait, 1/8 ounce swim bait with a little 1 ounce or 1/0 hook, with a Kitech or a driftwood custom. Just a little swim bait. You'll catch a lot of fish, a lot of smallmouth. But yeah, Craig, if you have an area of the lake and it's that dramatically different, I'm gonna go find in the wintertime. I'm gonna find the warmest water I can, and in the summertime I'm gonna find the coolest water I can. Now, if you're now don't get me wrong, if like a tire creek is you know 39 degrees, there'll still be active fish in there. You just have to fish much slower. It takes a lot more patience. Um, you know, if those now if those two creeks that are that dramatically different temperatures are far apart from each other, they'll fish very differently, but you can still catch fish in either one. Because those fish in that creek that's really cold, they don't know any better. They don't know that okay, if I swim over this way 5 miles, it's gonna be, you know, 10 degrees warmer. They don't know that.
So Craig said caught 2 in 48 degrees, one on a jig and one on shaking a minnow. And David Presley said it was 42 to 44 where he was today.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely that time of year. We should have a pretty consistent warm up from here on out.
There's a cold front coming in tonight.
Oh, I know, but then next week, like, so we'll still have some cold fronts.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, but the overall average temperature of a week per se will be on average warmer than it was last week. Doesn't mean that we won't have a spell of colder air but it will warm up faster. Like next week, it's actually supposed to get close to 70 degrees.
I know. I'm excited.
I know. So there's like multiple days next week that's gonna be in the 60s. Now we're gonna have another cold front behind that one, behind that warm front. But the thing is, it's not gonna get down to the teens. It's not gonna get down to the low 20s. Maybe for a short period of time in the low 20s. But uh, if y'all paying attention to the weather, it definitely uh there's definitely a cycle going on. Every 20 or so days, we get a blast of cold air, and we've had three now this the last
David.
2 months, 2.5 months. So we're gonna get another one. It probably won't be as cold as the other ones, but we're still gonna get another one. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a snow get close to
Hope so.
March.
The girls really want snow. But if it's gonna snow, it needs snow.
Yeah, we'll likely. It all depends on if it also happens while there's warm air moisture coming up from the south. If that happens, then we'll get snow. If it doesn't, we'll just get a little cold spell, maybe some flurries.
Ronnie says he's going to be fishing up near the Highway 60 Bridge Middle Lake Chick this weekend. I hope he gets on some. He'll be using the snatch and shed for the first time. What colors do you have? Just curious.
Yeah, yeah, I would say I would say you should be able to have some luck up there around those shell bars around the 60 bridge. Uh, the if I'm standing on the bridge looking north, okay, the area off to the left, there's a good shell bar over there, and it's you got a little bit deeper creek that kind of goes all the way up and butts up right against the boat ramp, the road that goes to the boat ramp, I should say.
Hey, Greg.
And that area should be good, really good for the snatch and shad, I would think.
He's got the clear shad silent on.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, obviously that one can produce in stained water. We saw the video I dropped this week, how I caught them really well with the clear shad in stained water. So it just they all give off a lot of good vibration. So there's a song out there, isn't there? Um, anyway, so obviously they can catch them even so, but
He'll
if
be on the kayak fishing some dock and coves.
okay, I would definitely have on hand one with rattles and a brighter color, like a bone or the oxbow, or even a gold chrome.
Hey,
Um,
Ashley.
because if they are eaten well, then that's a really, I like to throw something out that's a little bit louder, a little bit brighter, and you can get those aggressive fish to react. If they're really stingy, they're not wanting to bite, then that's when I go a little bit more finesse, a little bit going more on vibration than noise, if that makes sense. But they all have really good vibrations on them, though.
Now I'm going to have that song stuck in my head for
Yeah, every time.
Sweet sensation.
All right. Now you guys see why I fish and don't sing. All right.
You see why what?
Now you see why I fish and don't sing.
You sing good in the shower, though, according to your mama.
No, she told me I can't sing. By the way, I do want to take this moment out
Yes.
to say happy birthday to my mom.
Happy birthday, Beth.
She is. I'm not gonna say she's. I don't know if she get it. She probably wouldn't care, but she's she was a mother to 11 children, and we did not have an easy upbringing. So I'm not gonna go into all of that, but like we definitely had gone through some stuff, back in the years, and for a time she raised 9 of us by herself, and worked 3 jobs, and kept us all together, and so she is a woman among women.
Truth.
And so anyway, happy birthday, mom.
Rodney says bone rattling is on his list and a jerk bait. And then Craig says much better than the I'm a jerk song.
I don't think I know that song, so I'm just glad I don't know that song. So if what I sang just then was better than that, then I don't want to know that song. Let's put it that way. But yeah, so I'm hoping to get out tomorrow. I'm probably gonna wait till it is supposed to get a little bit chilly again tomorrow. I think the high is like 45, even though the high today was 60. So we have another cold front, but I don't think it's gonna affect the fish that much, just because it was a short lived warm front. Um, but I think, especially with the river system, you're not going to see that much of a change in temperature. So I don't think it's going to affect them too much. Um, yeah, I would say Wolf Teever is a good place to go.
He says it's all reliable.
Yeah, it's definitely a reliable place to go. Go back there, and any place like that, any creek, whether it's Sail Creek, Grasshopper, Mud Creek, uh, Saudi Creek, Chester Frost, that whole bay, Dallas Bay area. And that's what I'm trying to show with those breakdowns. If you stick around in those breakdowns, or excuse me, if you stick around in one section of the lake and really try to dissect it, you can find fish. There's fish that they live there. They don't know the rest of the lake even exists. Um, so you can find fish, and I think that people oftentimes they do themselves a disservice going based on history, and they're like, okay, well, I couldn't catch them in a half hour, an hour in Wolf Teever, so now I'm going to pick up and go to Saudi Creek. Well, the conditions, like Craig was saying, one creek was 39 degrees as opposed to the one being 48 degrees. You could encounter that. You could go from Wolf Teever, it's 39 degrees, and then you go to Saudi Creek and it's 48. So you essentially have to start over with your information. So anytime I go into a creek or anytime I go fishing anywhere, I'm putting together pieces of the puzzle, and I'm eliminating things. I'm trying to make some decisions. So if I'm moving that far, then I'm really making it harder on myself. Now it doesn't. Now obviously, if you if you know a good you could run into them too. You could, if there's nothing going on at creek and it's just more work than you want to put forward, then by all means try something entirely different.
Johnny said it takes several days of warm days to affect the temperature. And then David Presley says the lake was on today, is very clear. Found baits in 42-foot and fish just under them, but could not get a bite.
Mm. It's hard when they're that deep.
And then Greg Hale says he's going Sunday on Chick. And Dave Cox says your mom was definitely special. Happy birthday.
Yes. What's up, Dave?
Yeah,
What's up,
that's
Coach?
I was gonna say, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I believe it's the same one. I can't see the picture on it, but
Coach Cox.
yeah, Coach Cox was my high school wrestling coach. Many good years there.
He still has his leotard.
She still calls them leotards. So try to work that one out, Coach. Yeah, that's a
He looks so cute now.
that's a hard one there. Um, yeah, I don't have I actually don't have the Southwestern.
No, you have
singlet.
the Chattanooga
I
one.
used to. I have my Navy singlet, and I have my I think I still have my Navy singlet. I know I have my UTC singlet. So
I don't know, but maybe we get out the
no,
Navy one.
no, I'm not
I
pretty.
don't think I've seen that one. I've seen the other
It
one.
looks the same. It just has different insignia on it. Okay. um. Anyway,
Fishing.
yeah, back to fishing. Yeah, yeah, there's plenty of them. So, anyway, yeah, I'm planning on going out. I'll probably go out tomorrow once it warms up a little bit. Probably head out of here around 10 a.m. instead of at the crack of dawn.
Crack of
There's,
dawn.
in my opinion, at this time of year, there's no reason to go that early. Um, now I might be wrong, but I think the more consistent action is once in the wintertime is once that sun gets out there and starts to actually warm up the shallows and stuff like that. I seem to do better. I get out there really early, unless you're behind the dam or someplace like that. I do think that lower light conditions helps, but if you're fishing on the lake side up in coves and those types of things, you're fishing dirty water. I think that once that water or that sun gets up there and heats everything up, that's when the fishing starts to get going. What are you laughing
Hey, James. Hold on. Johnny says, do they have fishing tournaments where you caught those bigs?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's a small area. It's a state park area in North Georgia called Salicoa Creek. So it's a good little area. I think it's they do charge $3. It's a honor system thing, so hopefully you would pay that, not you know skip on $3 because they do use that to put it right into the fish management of the lake. So it's a cool little lake. Only electric motors, so kayaks, canoes. If you're using your bass boat, you can use your outboard motor only to load your boat on back onto the trailer. But other than that, you got to use an electric motor. So
Rodney says he's been getting his first good bites around 9 to 10 a.m. all January.
mm,
Greg Hale says he's going Sunday on Chick. Craig wants to know who's going out in a kayak and where. So anybody going out in a kayak, get a hold of Craig. And Tony wants to know if they're cheetah pattern.
Tony wants to know if the singlet is cheetah pattern.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
No, we weren't the cheetahs. Okay.
Chattanooga Mocs.
Yeah, no, it was So in high school it was the
Mustangs.
Mustangs. So and it was a black and white singlet with like some red lettering. And then obviously the navy is navy and yellow, like golden navy blue. And then in at UTC it was basically same colors as the navy. It was like a
I guess
navy
so.
blue, basically blue and yellow, and white, I guess. But yeah, definitely not cheetah there. I think we have to be that's a little bit different kind of wrestling. I'm not really too. But yeah. Now, thanks for getting me off topic there. I appreciate that. I don't need help with the rabbit holes, guys. Okay. But anyway, I'm gonna get people just trying to get me off topic. They're just gonna be.
Maybe we can have like some sort of fish off to get you in that singlet again.
No. No.
We're in live.
Yeah. So I'm still up in the air as far as where I want to go tomorrow. I really think, and for y'all that want some consistency, I think below the dam is gonna be lights out. I think there's probably gonna be a lot of white bass, stripers down there. So you could throw a whole host of things and catch fish, and probably a lot of fish. The the smallmouth ought to be biting down there as well. Um, but throwing a rig, um, that that little Kitech, a jerk bait. Right now is a really good time to catch big striper down there. If you have, what I've used, and I don't know if you guys saw the video. If you get a big jerk bait with a big bill, you get it down there, and basically you're just taking it really erratic, right against the channel, the drop off in the channel. You can catch some big stripers there. I've had some really good success taking those lures down that way and catching some really good stripers.
Would you like to say hello?
Pop in here.
Say hi. Hello. Okay, goodbye. Love you.
Love you. Make
Shut
sure
the doors.
make sure the dogs aren't
Yes.
going crazy, please.
Johnny wants to know if you've ever fished Tim Ford Lake.
I fished it very briefly, once, and all I did there was, like I was headed to Nashville and I saw the sign, so I went and I pulled off and I found a bridge, and then I stopped there. I walked down to the base of the bridge and I caught three. In a pretty short time. I was there like an hour. They're all small. I think I had my biggest one was maybe like a pound and a half, but I think I caught two on a shaky head and one on a jerk bait, and that was a long time ago. So I haven't got much of a chance to fish it any time recently, or for any length of time. So, but I hear it's really coming around and has some decent quality fish in there.
What about Parkville?
We used to live
up. We used to live. If that's up in Cleveland, we used to live up in Cleveland when I first moved down.
Yeah, Parksville's a good lake. It's a sneaky little lake, because it's got some big bass in there. I know multiple people have caught 10-pounders in there.
We saw a bear when we went fishing. Remember? It was floating in the water. It was a dead bear.
Yeah, I came across a dead bear when I was up there.
It was crazy.
Once. Um, Apparently got hit by a car or something. But it was right there by the bridge. I guess it's the I guess it's the only bridge. There's a portion of the lake that goes, goes on. There's a road obviously that goes along the side of it. And if you guys have never taken that drive, you need to. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous drive. Anyway, so the road goes around it and then it crosses one area and there's like a cove that goes back off that way. Back there's a lot of lay downs and stuff like that. There's some big ones that will go back there early in the year. I actually fished it last time I fished it. I was with Jacob Fouts, who's actually in he made the cut down there in Gunnersville this weekend. But Jacob, he showed me a technique where he was basically going down the bank and around laydowns and skipping a mag draft um, up underneath the trees and along the laydowns and just slow rolling a big mag draft and big spotted bass and largemouth were coming and eating it. And he absolutely waxed me in that that day fishing. But
You have a video on it too.
yeah, but it was fun. He definitely used a technique on a lake that I usually fished very finessey because the water's so clear. He went exactly opposite. He went with big lures and power fishing, and he said he catches a lot of big fish that way, and I could definitely see it. I saw some that just didn't commit, but that were easily 7+ pounds. So I know, yeah, Parksville is a really good lake. It's also got muskie up in there. They also have magnum spotted bass, but they tend to stay closer to the deeper side, closer to the dam, and they'll bite at shoot 45 feet deep, even deeper. But definitely, um, definitely a different kind of lake, clear and so you want to get lures with erratic action and that kind of stuff, um, or big meals seem to catch the good ones up there. Yeah, something else.
Huh?
Where are you doing this?
Huh?
You tell me,
No, I
tell me,
was
wrap it up,
well, no, I was
move it along.
trying to get my hand going there.
Hmm. Okay. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but Dylan, he made, I think he got 25th place in the first one of the first there's three major events going on in Florida last week. One on Okeechobee where Bank Shaw actually won, which yeah, that guy. If y'all haven't been paying attention, he has been doing something in bass fishing that has never been done before. He is absolutely destroying people or destroying the competition. Well, that one was pretty close, but the fact that he won that one and he's getting the top 10 in like every event he fishes is it's incredible. um and I mean he's got a string of top 10s going on that I don't think has ever happened in the sport. But anyway, so he won down in Okeechobee. So Dylan Florado, the Copper Red Baits pro, he was on Kissimmee. Now day one he struggled. He still caught a limit, but he struggled more than he was hoping because they had a huge cold front down there. And down there, cold fronts affect those bass much more differently than they affect them places that the cold is normal. So they had a major cold front, and the bite just shut down. A lot of people struggled to even catch a keeper. But on day two, so Dylan was in like 60 something place. Day two, he goes out there. He caught pretty much the same limit or a similar limit that he had on day one, which was not going to be good enough to get him a check. And then he decided to try the same area he had been fishing, and he had been fishing the half-ounce snatch and shad, and he was catching keepers. So he caught keepers, but they were on the smaller side. And so he decided before he left that area to go look for fish to tie on the 3/4 ounce snatch and shad. And he threw that one up there and was able to call a couple times and brought him from, I think he said, from 8 pounds up to like 14 pounds or something like that. I could be wrong on those numbers exactly, but anyway, it skyrocketed him from 63rd place up to 25th place. So huge because it obviously that helped him earn a check. I think he ended up. He said that that decision was a $3,000 decision. So, obviously that made the difference between him going home with money in his pocket or in debt. So, um, so anyway, that's a big deal. And who knows, had he had that tied on the whole time, he might have been up in the top 10. But that's the thing about fishing. You never know. Hindsight's 2020, and you just have to try to make the right call at the right time, and better late than never, I suppose. But yeah, he cut a check. He contacted me. Was all excited about it, and was appreciative because I told him something about how sometimes before you leave an area, if you catch them on a half ounce, go ahead and throw that 3/4 ounce, because sometimes that rate of fall makes the difference. With that 3/4 ounce, it is the same exact size as a half ounce, but with that heavier weight, like, it makes a dramatic difference in the lure. Like, you can really effectively fish it deep. Um, and not only that, but because he was only fishing, I think, like six or less feet of water, it was just that faster drop. That faster drop was the key in that case. Sometimes it's that slower drop, and obviously you want to go with the half ounce in that case. But if you're fishing super shallow, then I like to go with that half ounce. But I'm certainly not gonna usually move from area. If the bite dies down, I'm not gonna move before I try something a little bit more unique, or just a slight change. If I was catching 'em on the half ounce, I'll say I was catching 'em on a white, I might change to a chrome, or I might change to the 3/4 ounce. Those types of things. And a lot of times you can get a couple more consistent bites, or bigger bites, I should say. But
I don't see any more questions.
oh,
Johnny said that's a great testimony. Um, but I don't see any other questions. Do you want to do the
we could do the drawing. If you guys don't have any other questions, what time is it?
9 o'clock?
Only 9 o'clock. Okay.
I'm getting old.
I know. That was a quick half hour though.
Yeah. I'm sleepy.
Yeah, definitely. You guys get out there and do some fishing. Post pictures. I love seeing them. And if you guys aren't part of the Flippin the Script Fishing community page. So I have Flippin the Script Fishing, which is the page where I post videos, and basically it's just about the Flippin the Script Fishing channel. And then I have a Flippin the Script Fishing community group. That's a group on Facebook where it's a lot more interaction.
It's a private group, right?
Yeah, it is a private group. So you just have it is the caveat to the being basically what I did is ruled out anybody who doesn't have hasn't had a Facebook uh page, or what is it called, a Facebook profile for the last 6 months, because that what that does is it weeds out all the bots, it weeds out all the spam and all that kind of stuff. So, but if you suppose you're just new to Facebook and you've only been on for 3 months, but you're an actual person, then you can answer the questions, and then it sends me notification that says, "Do you want to accept this person?" And then I can just hit accept, and of course you're in. But like, but yeah, it's a good little group. We have a lot of good, helpful guys with a lot of all over the country that are willing to help with good sound information. So get on there, post your pictures, especially if you catch them on cover red baits. Tag us, so that way we can amplify that, and it, like I will say, if we see a spike as a result, and we can tie it directly to you and what you did, then we'll send you baits. We like to show appreciation to those that help us out. So that's why Craig is that's why he's worked up to a level 3 sponsorship with us, is because he's done so much putting posts out there and that kind of stuff, and really helped us get the word out. So we try to do what we can to help those that help us. So all right, so this week's video that I dropped, obviously that was a little bit older footage. I want to say old footage. It was kind of end of December. Um, when was that? It was after we came back from
Cato.
Caddo. So it was like
So we left the day after Christmas.
it was. I think it was New. I think it was literally like New Year's Eve, or no. It was the week after Christmas.
I don't know.
So it was about a month old. I guess a little bit older than a month now, but it was, but we were in the middle of one of those cold spells that, and actually kind of coming out of it at that point, because if you remember, I was really bundled up. It was like low 20s when we went out in the morning. It had warmed up enough into the 40s, so or even the high 40s, I think, which is gonna be almost exactly what, excuse me, what tomorrow is gonna be like. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get that 3/4 ounce, excuse me, 3/4 ounce snatch and shad and slow rolled over some places, or right near um like on those those shell bars right on the sides of them, or those types of things, just in a little bit deeper water, you might be able to trigger some bigger bites. Wouldn't be surprised at all. With this full moon, we should have some pretty big females starting to move up and feed.
Don't watch what you're doing there with your fingers.
Okay. All right, guys. So if we don't have other questions, Rodney said something like,
Hey, do you know any tricks for keeping your line from digging into your
Bobber.
maybe? Well, let I can look at it here in just a
I'll
second.
answer in just a second. All right. It's hard for me to see that.
Hold on. I got it. I need go. Oh.
Did you?
Oh no.
Did you? Yeah.
No.
What?
No.
There we go. All right. Who's gonna get it? Eddie Evans. All right, Eddie. Congratulations. I will contact you, and you will get to pick out what copperhead baits lure you would like. Um, just a side note. Those of you who have won in the past, like we had the person that won last week, they still haven't got back to me. I messaged them that they had won, and they haven't responded. So we've had a couple do that over the last, we've been doing this what, since August.
Yeah.
So since August, we've probably had 3 people who never responded back. Um, now I will leave a message, or I'll respond to your thing, and your comment on the video that got you entered. And But if I don't hear anything back, there's nothing I can do. So one, I don't know the lure you want. Two, I don't know where to send it. Um, so if hopefully you're also following us on Facebook, because you can message us there, with more sensitive information, like an address or something like that. Obviously, you don't want everybody on YouTube to know your address, so you can get on and message me on Facebook, and that way it can be private, and I can get you the lure of your choice.
Rodney's question was, "Hey, do you know any tricks for keeping your line from digging into your bobber? I fish live bait for crappie, and I have been thinking about it."
Keep your line from digging into your bobber. Well, there's a lot of different bobbers out there. I would think you'd probably want to use like a slip bobber. Um, there's these rubber bobber stops, right? And so you put those on. I use the bobber stops for pegging my sinker when I'm punching, using a punching weight. So, but they're bobber stops. They're originally used to to stop your line or your bobber from sliding up and down your line, so you can adjust it
He said,
wherever you
yeah,
want.
after a while, the top wears out and gets stuck. It's
Mm,
on a slip bobber setup.
okay. Yeah. No, that's a good question.
Hey,
I don't.
John.
I very seldom use a bobber. So I probably wouldn't be the one to ask about that. Sometimes I like to use a bobber with a float and fly. That's about the only time I use a bobber. But I'll just use the ones that you can crimp right onto your line. It's probably not good for your line. I mean, it probably weakens your line after a little while. But certainly, I mean, they seem to do fine with what I'm doing. Um, I would say, if you could always have, like, if you're crappie fishing, you're probably using backing, or you could use backing, or you're probably using a spinning rod, so you could use braided line for backing, and even light braided line. You could go 10-pound test braided, and then have, like, use an Alberto knot to tie on your leader, your fluorocarbon leader, and then from there you could probably put your bobber depending on how long your leader is, you could probably just put your bobber on. Well, then you wouldn't be able to cast. Scratch that. Never mind. So I don't. You'd have to just tinker around with it. I don't know.
What about trying nail polish? I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk and Tackle might have some setup for him.
Yeah. I mean,
call a professional.
I'm guessing. Yeah. I would definitely. I would say, you know, it's. I don't use bobber enough to know. I think I know what you're talking about. Just the top part of the plastic kind of digging into your line a little bit. You might be able to put epoxy over the top of it. It just makes some epoxy, right? And then you take your bobber and you just kind of dip it, and so it's just around that top edge, just as long as it's not all the way across the hole for the bobber. That might work, but I don't know how well that would hold up. So, yeah, I don't know. You have to try some experiments. It's a good question. I don't use a bobber much, so I haven't tinkered with it too much. But
all right. Oh, and there's not going to be a live next week.
yeah,
So it's Valentine's Day. Nobody's really going to be.
she's acting like she scheduled time with the ladies on Friday.
It's bingo night.
That's why.
And and then you guys are going to be out taking your wives out anyway. Mine didn't make
On
any
Valentine's
plans.
Day.
Right. You didn't make any plans to do that.
How do you know I
I'm not
like,
gonna.
how do you know I
never
didn't
do
make
it.
any plans? All I know
You
is you've
did.
made plans out from under me, so it doesn't matter if I had plans or not. You just said, "Hey, I'm going out with my ladies."
Well, you should really get your name on the board first, I guess.
I thought that's why we got married. That's why you put a ring on it, okay? If you like it, put a ring on it. I thought that was the whole deal, okay? Apparently, guys, it doesn't matter. She makes some gal friends, and that trumps all that. So Friday night when we usually do this, like tonight, we're not gonna be doing it tomorrow night. I mean, shoot, I might get on myself. I just won't be able to. It'll be hard for me to answer questions and stuff. If I have stuff that I need to tell you, more exciting news, I'll get on here and I'll do that. But other than that, just plan something for your wives, I guess.
Otherwise, they're gonna plan stuff without you.
Very possible.
Rocky Top KG. Do you have a color size preference for the lipless lures?
So it really depends on the where I'm fishing, and I really I really pay attention to the the water and weather conditions at the time. Obviously, if it's cloudy, I'll go more bright colors. If it's sunny, I'll go more like chromes or natural colors. Um, and also the water clarity. So if it's really dirty water, I tend to go towards the oxbows more. Um, and and if the water's clear, I go more towards the natural colors. Now, just like that video I dropped, the fish make the choice. Ultimately, the fish make the decision. You can, always have that starting point, but you still have to listen your best to what the fish are telling you. Um, so in that video that I just dropped, um, the I started out with bright colors and with rattles because of the water clarity, and they didn't want anything to do with it, and they ended up going for that clear shad in the silent color. So
he said to ask another way, which ones have you caught the most fish with? Royal Red, Rayburn Red.
I haven't really. Well, yeah, I've caught quite a few. I try and use all of them at some point. Um, and if I haven't used one in a while, I'll tie it on. That's actually what made me tie on that clear shad because I hadn't really used it much. So I went ahead and tied
Thanks,
it on.
Connie.
I went ahead and tied it on, and lo and behold, I caught a bunch. Now I tend to when it's stained water, I tend to go to that oxbow pretty quick. I like that oxbow color, nice and bright, and it seems to get a good reaction. Um, when the water's just 50 degrees or warmer, I throw those red colors a lot. Apparently I need to throw it even when it's colder than that. A lot of people are catching them right now
It
with it.
says Royal Red is a beast.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he
Craig's
catches a lot.
been catching them like crazy on the Royal Red. So
You can check out his Facebook page. He's got it all over there.
yeah, he's
He
caught up.
uses a lot of our.
He did catch them really good on Oxbow the last time he went out too, though. But I also like I caught him real good at below Chickamauga Dam on the gizzard shad on 3 different trips. So naturally, the next time I go down below Chickamauga, I'll probably throw gizzard shad first. But which probably I shouldn't, because the fish down there are probably somewhat conditioned to that because I've caught a bunch of them on it. So I probably should go down there next time and throw something different. But because I have confidence in that down there, that's probably my starting point. Um, but yeah, it's always subject to change. I try not to get too attached to one color or one size. I try to just think about what I can fish most effectively, and obviously what's getting the best reactions. If I'm throwing something for more than 20 minutes without a bite, then I'm likely changing. So
Clear shad's a good one too.
yeah, that's why I threw it that one place.
Yeah.
What happened to my boot?
I don't know.
There's a hole in it.
I don't know.
Tell you what, I can't have anything nice anymore.
You're the only one that wears them.
I don't know. I think somebody. It looks like a dog got a hold of it. I'm gonna get a hold of what dog. I tell you what, those dogs. mm, mm, mm.
We have 2. One's the big baby.
And they both think they own the house, so it's always fun. Especially when I come home and they're completely covering my bed.
They need a place to sleep, and you're not there.
They have a bed. They have their own mattress on the floor. Each of them.
Which colors would you recommend to start? I generally fish above the dam.
Again, you have to take the conditions as you encounter them. If it's cloudy, okay, I'm probably gonna start off with a louder color, or more opaque type color. If it's sunny, I'm probably gonna if it's sunny and the water's clearer, I'm definitely gonna go more natural, less rattles, okay, because it's one. I'm looking at the visibility of the lure. Okay. And I'm also considering, in my experience, the mood of the fish, because if it's bluebird skies, that means there's a high pressure system there. That high pressure system, in my experience, makes those fish a lot more skittish. So if I am really noisy or really loud, then I have found that I'm spooking the fish too much. So I'll go more natural. And of course, I'm really keen in on long casts and those types of things. Um, so that's super important. Now, like I say all the time, the fish get the final say. So if I'm uh, in those conditions and I think that those more finesse lures are what I need to be throwing, and I'm not getting much, or say I'm catching them regularly and it doesn't seem to matter, then I might start to get more aggressive with my approach. So I might switch to a brighter color or switch to one with rattles, and to test to see if I'm getting bigger, better bites more frequently. Um, and so then I adjust. It's always an adjustment until I'm catching a big bass every cast. Then there's room for adjustment. Um, so I'm always looking to adjust. Like the funny thing is, and I'll be out and I'll catch a fish on a lure, and literally the next cat, like the within 5 minutes, I'm changing that lure many times, and it's not because I don't think that lure will work anymore. I'm just experimenting on something that might work even a little bit better. So now that I have some information to build off of, I can test something and I can know pretty quickly if it's going to do better or worse. And oftentimes it does better, oftentimes it does worse. So if it does worse, then I come back to what I was doing to verify that yes, this one is doing better. And then I might go change the other direction. You know, if I'm throwing a bright colored rattling lure and I'm catching them, and then I go to a rattling more uh, natural color, like a pro olive, and all of a sudden I'm not getting bit. Well, then I'll go back to that bright colored rattling, and then I might, after if that was doing a little better, I might go to that same kind of color silent. See if that makes a difference. Just little changes like that, and let the fish really tell you what. Yeah, tell you what they
Exactly
want.
what Craig said. He said, I carry 9 rods on my kayak and 4 have different colors in silent or rattle. And I let them tell me what they want.
Yeah, and you're always just trying to be real in tune with it, and be willing to adjust and that kind of stuff. And the thing is, the very next outing, like say I wax them today on oxbow, tomorrow I'll go out. I'll probably start with oxbow, but I can't be too attached. Just because it worked really really good yesterday does not mean it's going to work the same way today. And if you're in the same area, it's likely that they'll bite something just a little bit different, better. Um, so those are always things. You always have that standard that baseline that you can start from, but don't be afraid to experiment and deviate off that a little bit. Um, but starting out, I couldn't say in the springtime I'm going to start out with a red. More than likely from February through April, I'm going to start out with red, something red, more than likely. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to stick with red the whole time. I might go to chrome or something like that, but that's my base. So in early fall or late fall, I should say, when they really start getting on that lipless, most of the time I'm going to start with a shad pattern or a shad color. And it like depends on the water clarity. Like back in the back of Savannah Bay when it's really muddy, you noticed in that video I started with the oxbow color, something that was bright because that water was like chocolate milk. So they needed something to really locate it. Um, but uh, but I also I also caught him on the veil too. So it's hard for me to say I always start with this or I always start with that, because I honestly pay attention to the time of the year, the weather conditions, the water conditions, all that stuff does play a part. It all has a say in where I'm more comfortable starting, and then ultimately I have to adjust to what the fish are saying. So if that makes sense.
Good job.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
You think?
I'm going with it.
You go. Okay. She's still learning. Still got a lot of learning to do. But unfortunately, when she goes out with me, it's her versus I. That's in her mind.
It's
Anyway.
a competition.
Yeah. For me, it's like, all right, what can I do to try to help her catch fish?
He's a liar.
Like it's not. I'm not.
He's a liar because he doesn't help me at all.
That's because you listen.
I listened perfectly fine.
You fight with me. You guys heard her. She said it's a competition. Okay. She thinks when we go out in the water, it's her versus me. Who's gonna come out on top? No. Her mind. Okay, it's her versus me, and me. It's like, all right, how can I help her catch fish?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Not once to try to help me catch fish.
Every single time.
Why are you throwing it that way? Don't do it that way.
Why do you think I say that?
Just let me do it on my own.
I'm learning that.
See, me dodging your baits is exactly why. Thank you, Craig, for pointing that out.
Technically, that wasn't mine. That was Jeff, and you yelled at Jeff, and you didn't even realize it.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, it was you.
No, it wasn't. It was Jeff.
You
Watch the video.
4 times on that trip.
Maybe, but that particular time, it wasn't me. It was Jeff.
See.
No. That
truth comes out. He just doesn't put it in the video.
She doesn't even know who she's yelling at.
I know exactly who I'm yelling at. He's sitting to my right.
Okay, we're gonna have to review the footage there. Review that beautiful bean footage there. What is that? But
review, it wasn't him.
No, it wasn't. I'm pulling it up as soon as we get off here. I'm pulling it up and you'll see. You listen, Linda. It's called Jeff Linda.
Look, see, even Ronnie says, I'm pretty sure you fishing those mats. Amen, brother. I'm telling you,
we were all fishing the mats. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't have a line in the water. I did not.
Rodney, I can't wait to
Rodney,
kill
you're
him
wrong
tonight.
too.
He's
Okay?
not wrong.
You're not
Rodney,
getting any brownie points by agreeing with
Rodney
it,
gets a lure if he finds out that you're wrong when we pull up that fit.
All right, well, what do I get?
So be prepared to get a message, Rodney.
What do I get?
You can, huh?
Rodney, you gotta pick me out of lure if I'm right. I'll give you my address. You can send it to me next week because I'm right. The lure, the video.
Did you watch the video?
The video I dropped today. I believe it was today. The short video. Okay. Now I drop a short video almost every day, so it's just a clip of one of the long videos. So, but the short video I dropped today was a snippet of when we pulled up to that one area. Jeff had his line in there, okay? Now he was paying attention because you were down in the bottom with your back turned to the action and you were doing something. You were putting on a lure, you were picking out something, but let me finish. And I was looking to see what you do. And Jeff actually looked back to see what you were doing. And when he did that, a fish rolled on his frog. And he turned around and saw it, and then he.
That may have been one time, but you nearly hooked me 3 times.
I'm talking about the video. I'm not talking about all that stuff.
It's in there because I saw it when I watched it.
Not that video.
Rodney, you're right. You're getting a lure. Don't worry, buddy. I got your back.
Sorry, Rodney. I can't support you on this one. I'm not.
See, and Craig says I've learned great reaction times. Always watching your back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. I'm aware.
You tell me, Craig. You tell me what. Listen, Linda is gonna keep. How that's going to protect her from getting hit by a lure? Okay. The reality is Jeff knows what he's doing, and the way he's setting the hook. That frog was either gonna go 30 feet in the air over our head or in the roof of a fish's mouth. It wasn't gonna hit either. That's why I didn't overreact. She's thinking, "Oh, you set the hook. It's coming right at me.
Because
it's coming right for me."
It zoomed by my head more than once.
Not. There was another time where it got stuck on the grass, and that time that was my fault.
What did Bobby say?
Huh?
What's he say? I lost it. It's not on there. Oh, Jeff almost got her on a big bag on Caddo Lake winter bass fishing at 17:20. But the same video you did at 52 seconds. I like you. You can have 2. There you go.
Stop giving away our merchandise. I make a living, woman.
And he says, so you did it first.
Okay, I'm referring to the short video I dropped.
No, we're talking about this video.
No, we're not. You can't change the goalpost.
It wasn't the goalpost to begin with.
No, I was talking about today.
Hey, Patrick.
When you yelled, "Listen, Linda."
Patrick.
When you yelled, "Listen, Linda," that's when Jeff almost hit you. The other time, I hooked on a piece of grass. That's what we're referring to. No, that's what this argument is.
You said you didn't almost hit me in the face, and you did. We're going to go back and watch this live, too.
Oh, my gosh, guys.
I miss you, Patrick. I hope you're doing well. Frog season is dodgeball season. That's true.
That is true. You got to be quick. If you
did watch that, maybe you're going to dispute the fact that you had a jerk bait on your back from jerking that bad boy out of there?
No, because I saw the video and I know my facts.
Ronnie says I'm an IT guy. I do this stuff for a living.
Well, Rodney, you need to understand what we're arguing, okay? Because what we were arguing was when she yelled, "Listen, Linda."
No, it wasn't. Okay, so maybe that one was, but you still did it first because you said that you had.
That's what I was referring to. That's the only clip I was referring to.
We'll talk about this off camera.
In fact, I said yes. There were other times where you had to dodge, but that's not the one I'm referring to. And you said that's still.
We're gonna.
Oh my gosh, guys!
I can't wait. All right, we're gonna figure this out.
You see these gray hairs? It's why. All right. Yeah. I need a drink of my coffee.
Coffee at 9:00 at night. He is the only man that drinks coffee at 9:00 at night. 9:30 nonetheless. All right. Patrick says you're in trouble.
No, because we're gonna look at the video where you're gonna off camera. She'll admit, but
I never admit anything.
That's true. She probably won't, but she'll kind of somewhat like change. What she does is she changes the argument. Very slight. It's like sleight of hand. It's like, oh crap, I am wrong about this. So how can I change this so that my argument still stands somewhat?
That is all you, buddy.
Every guy out there knows exactly what I'm talking about. All you, buddy. All right, so
wow, this has been fun.
Before we start wrestling right here on camera,
you're gonna have to put your leotard on.
I might forget. Never mind. All right, guys.
Just realized it's always better to say she's right. Remember, it's Valentine's Day next week. Good job.
She's already made plans, so I'm already out of that one.
He didn't.
She already made plans on that one, so it's not like I'm, But anyway,
Patrick's going to the Chick Sunday morning.
All right. Well, good luck.
We have church.
Yeah, we'll be at our. Hey, you should come up to our church one of these times. All of you are welcome to Calvary Baptist on Dayton Boulevard. We have a great church. We love our church.
Have a great kids ministry. So if you have kids, wonderful kids ministry, and just preaching from the Bible.
Amen, amen, sister.
It's about the only thing we can agree on.
So, but good luck to you, Patrick. I will be coming home and going straight to bed more than likely because I got to work that night. So tomorrow, though, I think I'm probably gonna get out and do some fishing and hopefully find some good ones. There's a lot of places I want to check out and I don't have the time to do it, but I'm gonna try to get there somewhere tomorrow. We'll see. But all right, guys. Well, I think we've done here fussed at each other enough on this channel. Hope
Me too, Craig.
Amen, Rodney. But glad you guys joined us. I appreciate all the support you guys give to us, and keep your eyes open. We'll be continuing to update Facebook and YouTube and all that good stuff. Keep the comments coming, and the likes and all that kind of stuff. It definitely helps us out. And it's funny when in times past before I had my own channel, people would say that, and it is almost like an eye rolling moment. But I understand exactly what they're talking about now. It's crazy how much the algorithm pays attention to that stuff. So if you can, I know sometimes if you follow the link from Facebook, you have to sign in, and it can be a pain in the butt. So if you see that drop something and you get notified on Facebook, go directly to the YouTube channel and then log in that way. So that way you can actually give it a thumbs up and a comment. And I really appreciate that. It helps a lot. So the comments and all that good stuff, responding and all that jazz. So, again, for those of you who have done it, those that we are trying to reward with putting you in a drawing every week, thank you, and keep up the good work. So we're almost to getting close to 8,000 subscribers on YouTube now, and Facebook and Instagram, all that stuff is on the upward trend. So not really that worried about that, but it's always nice to see you got some support out there. But keep your eyes open. We will be making more updates, and we got some new stuff in the works. Always got some new stuff coming, and that's what I want to try to do with the lure company and everything is kind of keep ahead of that curve and always keep it interesting. So
we definitely keep it interesting around here.
We try to. I do appreciate all you guys' input, the feedback. Those that's done in a non-explicative manner. I did have to delete some comments that use some colorful language. But for the most part, 90%, 99% of you guys are very, very good about that. So, but anyway, guys, I appreciate everything. And until next time, tight lines.